Welcome back to Kung Fu Maintenance. Today I got a crazy trick to show you with spray foam. This is a stucco repair that's overhead. I actually had to use a little bit of caulking to make the texture just right, but the really cool thing about the spray foam is when it bubbles up and it spreads out, it creates this big bubble. Well, if you take a knife and cut it off nice and straight, the little voids in between the bubbles and everything actually work out just right to mimic the stucco. So here you can see it bubbled, and then here it is trimmed off and then patched a little bit with a little caulking to match the texture a little better in one spot that got cut a little too deep. And after that, once you paint it up, it actually works pretty good. I actually once repaired a huge section of a carport with the spray foam, and no one can ever tell. It's held up for 10 years plus and still going. It's kind of just a neat way. It's a very lightweight, easy way to patch the stucco. It just works out just right to match the texture. And that's my KFM crazy trick for patching stucco. You'll definitely want to wear gloves and put tarps down or trash bags down, something to catch any drips, and wear safety glasses because the spray foam is very sticky, very nasty stuff. But anyway, it creates those bubbles, and once it completely dries, it takes 24 hours to dry. Just cutting it off with a knife. This one I was able to cut it off with my knife to make it flush. The car part repair I told you about, I was able to use a Sawzall and just cut it off nice and straight, both on the vertical surface and a horizontal surface under the carport. It worked out just perfect to match the texture. On this particular one, the angle was difficult, so I cut in a little too deep, so I just had to kind of match the rest of the texture with some caulking. Blend it in, touch up paint. This particular one I had to break open a hole to access the condensate drain for a repair. Yeah, once it's primed and painted with some good exterior paint, no problems with water or anything else. It seems to hold up the integrity just like the stucco. Good to go. Of course, I wouldn't use it on any load-bearing walls or anything, but for a quick repair, it's a very effective method. This particular one was about 4 or 5 inches around the condensate drain line. When I make a repair like this, I'll usually tarp it off and then use some scrap pieces of cardboard cut off straight and use that as a spatula, because the spray foam, as you start to apply it, sometimes it creates too big of a bubble in one area. You can use the cardboard to kind of knock it down and spread it out, and then just dispose of the cardboard when you're finished. So it was kind of tricky. I didn't show it completely in this one. If you guys want to see it, leave some comments below, and the next time it comes up I'll try to record it, but I just didn't want to get spray foam on my camera or anything. It's very tricky with the spray foam, but it's pretty easy repair, a lot easier than the weight of the stucco, and especially when it's something overhead like this was.